Welcome to Storage Wars and week 22. Today is a complete craft room tour. So let's take a look inside. I've gone over most of these areas with you at length in previous videos. Feel free to go back to those and look at them again if you need more in-depth information. These are the IKEA shelves we had talked about, where I keep all of my stamps and some decorator items and some treasured memories. This is the Big Shot station. I keep my embossing folders, sizzlets and bosslets, and my dies all here. Storage of my 8.5 by 11 cardstock and my Big Shot machine. Now I've had a request to show you what's in these drawers, so I'm definitely going to be doing that today. I do have a gorgeous view out this window. Punches. This is where I sit and where I create. A second station where my assistant sits. She's here a lot, sometimes 3-4 times a week, and then sometimes not for a week at all, and then she comes back, but she's a great help. Can't do it without her. Thank you, Beverly. This closet I've gone over in great detail in a previous video as well, with all the little nooks and crannies that Bob the Builder made for me. And this is my 12 by 12 cardstock storage. And we're back at the door. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through the drawers with you so that you can see what's in all of them. This one here specifically holds business supplies. Now in here we have 3 drawers. The first one is very shallow, and this one holds all of my embossing powders. Next drawer, this is the adhesive drawer. I know you're probably thinking that is crazy, all those glue dots and all those dimensionals, but you would be surprised how much I go through. We go through about 1,000 dimensionals a month here, just in a single month between classes and myself. I also, as you know, like organization. So this bottom drawer is kind of the misfit, crafty items. So I've got my glue gun in here, my crimper, my Sharpie markers, some stencils, odds and ends that I just don't know where to keep anywhere else that take up too much room individually in the closet. Next section of drawers are here in the center between the 2 stations where we sit. The top one is just really practical. This is where I keep pens and markers, highlighters. Scotch tape is in the drawer. Gotta love that, so I have more table space. Calculator. My regular adhesives that I get to all the time. Clips. Basic supplies. The drawer liners are a blessing. I covered those in a video previously as well. And the ribbon is in this drawer. And since the last video, it has now been updated to include all the new ribbons. Now I am shy just a few, and I want you to know I'm questioning where I'm going to put those, but I will make room for them, don't worry. Bottom drawer, this is where I keep, well, I'm going to say some tools. So the old crocodiles, I keep my sponges, my glitter. I also keep rubbing alcohol. In here in the corner, my husband didn't waste any space. Typically, I keep a cart back in that little nook there of my stamping supplies when I leave the house. It's just a cart that holds my ink pads and other things. But this little section here, you notice he didn't waste, which is brilliant. This one holds labels and stickers for pricing or for when I give items away. And my paper piercing mat and my stencils and more scratch paper. It's kind of a catch-all drawer, to be honest. Down here, this is where I keep my markers and my blendabilities, and they are in storage containers, and they're not fancy storage containers. I find these work really well for me, and that is a huge bottle of Stampin' Mist. On the top shelf, I keep some baby wipes for when I make a huge mess on the table. The storage space underneath the window, believe it or not, in that taupe is where I keep customers' orders that are coming to pick up. It's also a great place to sit. If I get bored, sometimes I switch positions. I'll talk about the cutters in a minute. Let me just finish up the drawers. Top one over here goes with my Big Shot. So in here I have my cutting mats, my magnetic platform, premium crease pads, and some shims. Next drawer is where I keep my scrubs, and I keep some other office supplies as well. So this would be an overabundance of things that don't fit in the initial drawer on top. So those are all kept in here. The bottom drawer, this is where I keep my paper trimmers And I keep my small display stands. Now I do have several trimmers in this drawer. There's 3 of them, 2 of the new ones and an old style. This drawer needs to be long and wide to hold those things. I did have to add a small stackable drawer in here. I keep empty containers from the accessories. In here, display stands for my scrapbook class. And in the bottom, I keep fabric. Now finally, I promised to talk to you about the trimmers. Since I do a lot of cutting, I have 3 different trimmers. This is called the Carl, but I love this cutter. Probably 8 to 10 sheets comfortably in here. It is a rotary cutter. It has a very serious locking mechanism to slice the paper back and forth with detailed measurements. I do not find that it's great for small pieces. Anything that's beyond 2 by 2, it does extremely well. This is how I prepare for my classes, where I can do multiple sheets of things at a time. I do not cut them one at a time. This is my Fiskars rotary cutter. Probably all crafters have one of these, especially paper crafters. I go through a lot of healing strips in this. Again, it's a rotary cutter, just from the amount of paper that I cut. I do find that this will do 1 or 2 sheets pretty well. And then of course my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which I absolutely love. I think this is an awesome buy for the money. And this is great for small trimming, which I use a lot of. And of course I use the scoring blade as well. So that's really it for the overview of this room, but you're not going to want to miss next week, because in addition to this room, there's another one, and it's called Lisa's Stamp Studio. I hope to see you next week. Thanks for joining me.